What's up, guys? Donovan here with Keep It Real USA.
Who the hell's this guy?
Oh, there it is.
Wait, did you hire some guy in America?
It is. It's probably time that I fill you in on what's happening with the USA plans. So you've probably seen, end of last year, I got my license to compete in Pro Spec this year. And plans are to have the Barra Wags be the first wagon and first Barra powered car in Formula Drift. And that's Kang. But what's not Kang is I'm probably not going to head back this year. We interrupt because Valentine's Day coming up. If you want the perfect gift, we've got a 50% off for your masses to bring her down to the next Friday Night Drift on Feb 21st. You're going to be able to meet myself for the meet and greet. We're going to be slaying. We're going to have the whole entire Reed fleet down. We're going to have DJ Adam Bartas and Romy slaying out some beats. So make sure you come down. Friday Night Drift in just over a week's time. It's going to be I'm probably not going to head back this year to live because we decided I need to be here smashing shit out with the team. So I've had to put someone on in the States, that person being Mr. Donovan. He was extremely keen. He was working in the army at the time, and we basically pulled him out and giving him the opportunity of a lifetime, some could say, to work in the brand new Kang Gang USA shop, which is right next door to Chris Forsberg's shop and sharing it with Chris Forsberg's head mechanic, Jackson. We've got to get a few things done for Formula Drift. There is some annoying ass regulations. In the Barra Wags, we've got all the Acostal set up and the subframe is fully custom. Anyway, we've got to change the standard and we've got to change the link ECU. Shout out RB Factory because they're sending us some cast drums to make our life easy. Anyway, pass you on to Donovan. He's going to get it done. We're going to introduce his ass and give him a warm welcome. He's not very confident on the camera yet, so he's getting there. So here's his first video, and we'll be seeing plenty of him getting stuff done. He's going to be working on the VL, the GS, and I'll be flying back and forward for FD, hopefully some Drift Appalachia, Grid Life, don't know. But I'll be in the States just back and forward. So passing on to Donovan.
I think there's a huge question, huge elephant in the room. Who am I?
We'll be asking the questions, old man. Who are you?
My name's Donovan. I know I said that in the introduction. I'm originally from a small town in Georgia called Warner Robins. Probably never find it if you look for it hard enough. I met Jason in September, Labor Day weekend, at Officer Dan's No Coast Drift Party. And man, was it a party. Had a great time, met up with Jason, and we just kind of, we linked, I want to say.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
Hung out the entire night, stayed up till around 5 o'clock in the morning. I went, crashed, met up with him the next morning. He did not sleep at all. And it was kind of funny to me. I was like, you didn't sleep, you're gonna go out on track? He was like, I'll be fine. Just throw some energy drinks back and call it a day. And I was like, dude, I love this guy's energy. He was amazing. So later on in the weekend, we split ways. He went his way, I went back to El Paso, which is where I was stationed. I'm prior service military. So I went back to work, blah, blah, blah. Had just got back from Korea. I had a couple 4 days available to me. So I made my way out to Laguna Seca for Grid Life. Jason hit me up and was like, hey man, do you want to come out, blah, 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 whatever have you. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll come out. Met up with Jason at Laguna Seca for Grid Life. Had a blast. It was amazing. Met a bunch of cool people that I've only dreamed of meeting before. Met Hurt, Rob Dom, a couple other people. Chris is one of the people that I met there. It was great. So from there, we kind of started back and forth on, hey man, getting out soon, looking for a job. I didn't know it was a long shot. It was a shot in the dark, but I mean, it was just something that I was kind of interested in. And we went back and forth, realized this is like late September. He messaged me with are you ready? And I was like, I'm as ready as I can be. So I waited till about January 3rd, the day that I picked up the truck, and I've just kind of been working for him since then. I got the truck here and noticed that, why don't you look at that? One of the shackles for the leaf spring had broke as well. So I guess we're gonna have to have a lot of extra parts for the trailer this year, considering there's a lot of moving parts with Pro Spec and everything, and then Grid Life events, and then just whatever have you, whatever we have else planned. I don't have the full schedule for this year, so it's just whatever he tells me we gotta do, right? Here at the new shop that Jackson and Jason just recently got. I have the wagon in the shop, currently working on it. Just doing some minor things until we gotta get to all the big work. I've gone ahead and pulled the dash out, so we have access to all the wiring. I've gone ahead and started unplugging a couple things, but we just want to clear up some space so when Jackson gets in here to cut away some of the roll cage, it doesn't necessarily cut any wires or anything like that. I've also got to go ahead and pull the gas pedal so it's not in the way. Jackson just requested me to take the seats out so he'd have more working room in there. As you can see, car has no stickers on the body of it. Gotta go back and do the windows, but not a main priority. This is just kind of the small things that I've done with the car since it's been in the shop and since I got to California. Speaking of getting to California, man, oh man, was that a fucking trip. Started out on the 3rd of January, made my way out to Nate's shop in Texas. And I went and got the truck, made it about 30 minutes down the road before I had transmission issues, made it to a Kohl's parking lot. Kohl's parking lot is not really ideal for any maintenance. Day 3, stranded with the hauler. We got our new supposed low mileage transmission. We have our old one sitting over here. The bearings went out in the oil pump for it. And we had to get a whole new unit instead of replacing the pump. It just seemed like the smarter thing to do on the side of the road. The mechanic came more prepared this time, brought a space heater. So won't be that cold, even though it's what, like 20, 25 degrees out right now?
26.
26, probably feels like 8 with the wind chill. So we're gonna get this thing knocked out and back on the road today. You know, it's not very pretty to do anything big in a Kohl's parking lot. Ended up doing a transmission in the Kohl's parking lot out in Fort Worth, Texas. Called up a mobile mechanic on Facebook Marketplace. Shout out to that guy, his name was Zach.
Love that guy.
Dude did amazing work, brought a fucking transmission jack, a couple other tools that I didn't have on hand, considering all I had was our SP Tools toolbox back here. So got everything done, and I want to say about 2.5 days. Finally got back on the road and made my way to California. What ended up happening was the bearing for the oil pump in the transmission went out. So we had bearings all over the bell housing. It grooved the torque converter, so it's not gonna make a proper seal, and we didn't want to disassemble a transmission in the middle of a parking lot. So we got a secondhand F250 transmission with about 60,000 miles on it or so. Shoved it in there, and everything worked out pretty fine. We got it on the road, it shifted kind of hard. Made our way to a friend of Zach's place to relearn the valve bodies in the transmission. And after that, it shifted smooth the entire way here. Had no problems, no leaks, nothing like that. So amazing work on his end. Shout out to that guy. Hopefully I run into him again, not in bad circumstances, but just to thank him for his work. Making our way to the front of the shop though, this is where we have all of our machine work for Jackson. His is welder in here. Just recently bought a table sander, which might come in handy very soon. But other than that, I mean, we're not really established much in here. I know you've been looking around. We have a collection of jack stands, all of Jackson's stuff back here in the corner. But all of this from down there to here, I wanna say, is Jason's stuff. So you have everything that was in the back of the wagon, toolbox here. I went to Harbor Freight and bought a little tool cart just because I had nothing here. We have our big Emax fucking air compressor, which is silent air that we're gonna have inside the shop, and I can't wait to see how quiet it is because I've never heard a silent air compressor nearby. You know, you usually just hear them in the back or whatever have you. A little quick tour around the shop, which just so happens to be 3 doors down from Chris Forsberg. So I feel like that's gonna be a huge plus just in case we need anything that we don't have, considering we have a smaller shop. Back to the car. This is gonna be a huge learning experience for me, considering we're running the Barra this year. And it's not that I don't know my way around a motor, it's just it's something different. You know, I've always worked around, you know, big V8s, 5.3s, LSs, little KAs in my 240 that I have. So it's just different working on a bigger motor, especially an import motor that's not here in the States. But I guess that's just a huge challenge I'm ready to take on for this year. And hopefully we don't have any big catastrophic failures with the motor, considering he's been running it for a couple of years now. If we do, I don't see a problem having him run a different motor. But I mean, it's just one of those things I gotta learn to work on. Other than that, I think clean up a bit of the shop here, as I've done most of the work on the car as much as I can without having all the parts available today. I can't wait to see you guys this year. A lot of things I'm looking forward to. Well, got the front end pulled off of the wagon, intercooler, radiator, fans, as well as the turbo. It's a work in progress here. Things are moving kind of slow because of Drift Fest. Things should be coming in more frequently now that everything's packed up and done over there. As you can tell though, it is not the same day. We have a lift installed in the shop. We have our pallet rack and our air compressor is even installed. I've just been kind of delayed on this outro just because there's been a lot of people in and out. Didn't want a lot of noise in the background. As far as the car goes, seats pulled out. The transmission's ready to be pulled minus the shifter being taken off. We did remove the water sprayer. It can be put back in for FD this season. I was just told otherwise. All of the livery has been pulled off as well as about 99% of the window stickers. So this thing is ready to go on the lift and have the drivetrain pulled out. As far as the shop goes, we do have our 10K lift put in, ready to go hard at work for the entire season, up and down as many times as we need to go. We have what I like to call the rack of destruction. It's not necessarily parts that are broken, just stuff that's been pulled off. We've got driver's seat, passenger seat, which the driver's seat is going to be replaced this year as well, as we need the Halo style for FD tech rules. We have my catastrophe here for the VL, which there's a funny story behind that one. I know Jason's been having a problem with it for a while now. I think I got to the bottom of it. So a bunch of the parts are up there for that, as well as the transmission being down there, but that'll be for a later video. That's really about it for this video. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.